Find that we were missing each other in the beginning. It's not a problem on my end. Before I start, how is your morning? How is everything?
I'm good. I'm just writing something about my little diary.
Mm-hmm.
Just review my yesterday's life.
Oh, nice, nice. It's definitely very important to always keep. I try to keep a diary of myself as well. It comes in handy in the future. And so we can get
Yes.
started. Just so you know, this will give me an opportunity to learn a lot about you. And if you have any questions, just please ask me at any time.
Okay.
And at the purpose or our end goal is to get you in some very top ranked domestic schools because I heard you're a very very strong candidate. So I am
Thank you.
excited to get to know more about you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the first thing I want to ask you, can you tell me what is your name?
My name's Jessie, and my Chinese name is Li Xuetong.
And can you spell that for me?
Okay. N
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
X
Mm-hmm.
U
Mm-hmm.
E N T
Mm-hmm.
O N G.
Thank you so much, Miss Jessie. And when is your birthday?
It's 2001
Mhm.
November the 20th.
November the 20th?
Yes.
Excellent. My niece's birthday is November the 29th.
Okay.
And what grade are you currently in?
I'm in grade 9.
Grade nine. And what grade would you be applying for in the
Um,
States?
grade 9 or grade 10.
All right. And and when would you want to come? So are you looking to start in the fall of 2017?
Yes, for
Perfect, perfect. And last question, out of these basic questions, I just want to know, is what? Because I heard you took the TOEFL, correct?
yes.
And what was your TOEFL score?
It's 96.
96. That is amazing.
Thank
So,
you.
and I'm very, very proud of you for that. So
Thank you.
now I want to get to know a little bit about you. So tell me, Jesse, what are some of the things that you enjoy doing?
Well, I really enjoy reading and dancing. Maybe playing board games with my friends in my free time. And communicating with my classmates during the school days, one of my favorite things.
So when you talk about you like playing games, I'm wondering, do you like any sports?
Volleyball.
Oh,
It's
nice.
my it's my it's the ball game that I play most common because I can play it at school.
Uh huh.
And sometimes I will play badminton with my friends.
Uh huh.
We go to the gym and rent a place and then maybe spend half afternoon there. It's quite fun.
I understand. My favorite sport of all time is tennis, and so
Okay.
when I was in high school, I used to always just really enjoy, playing tennis with my friends after school. So I understand exactly how you feel. So in school, what is your favorite subject?
I like Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
and because our teacher is a very excellent female, her
Mm-hmm.
teaching style is great, and I really enjoy her class about the analysis on reading
Mm-hmm.
because she will analyze the main characters, their qualities, their
Mm-hmm.
thoughts behind actions, and they she tells us how to learn more about a character behind the things they've done, and we can know more about the background through the articles. It's very interesting.
Wow, that sounds
And
extremely interesting, and I can
yes,
tell that you.
Chinese is
Uh
it is my mother language, so
huh.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I can see that you definitely uh, enjoy your teacher, her teaching style,
Yes.
because you pretty much lit up when you started talking about it. So that is a really really good thing. So since Chinese is your favorite subject, and like you said, it's definitely your mother language. So what would be out of all the subjects in school, what would be your least favorite?
Well, I'm not so for physics Because in our physics class, we don't have so much experiment,
Mm-hmm.
and our teacher will tend to focus on more about the theories and how to do the exercises. And I don't think the physics should be taught in that way, but we have to do in that way because we have to take all examinations.
Understood, understood, and that makes perfect sense. One of the
Yes.
beautiful things that I have an opportunity to speak about later down the line is like many of the schools that we have dynamic. Just science labs, whereas it's more hands-on, opposed to
Yeah.
is less theory and more project-based, and just understanding today's time, that is the best way to learn. When you get an opportunity to experience it and go through different modules, that is the best way that we as human beings, that's the best way that we learn and retain information. So I understand wholeheartedly what you mean by that. So I want you to tell me, uh, if you had an opportunity to study anything in the world, what, and this I'm thinking about college. So what would you want to study in college?
Um, I want to learn more languages
Mm-hmm.
like French or Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
because French it is said that it is the language of love, and it
That's
sounds very romantic.
uh-huh.
And there are so many beautiful women in France,
Mm-hmm.
and I really want to maybe someday travel to France and see the Eiffel Tower by myself.
Oh, that would be
It's one of my
amazing.
dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I date with a classmate who just came from Australia, and she learned French
Really?
in her high school.
Oh,
And
nice.
she told me that French is a really interesting subject, a language, a perfect language to learn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful, and she really likes to speak to her friends in
Uh-huh.
French.
Oh,
And
that is nice. I remember
I
when
tried it.
when I was in high school, I had the choice between French and Spanish, but I took Spanish, and sometimes I wish I would have taken French, just because, like you said,
Okay.
it's such a beautiful language. It really
Yes.
is, and I I definitely agree with you about that. So I was doing my homework about you. So are you a fan of the arts? Do you like to draw or paint?
Well, I like draw, but I'm not so good at drawing.
Uh huh.
Sometimes my drawing just looks so strange. But I like it. I will draw. Maybe I will maybe simulate some patterns on the postcard,
Uh huh.
my books, and I really like it. But I don't care if I draw good or anyway. I just draw for myself.
Oh, but I understand. So, I just want to learn a little bit more about you. So, what do you usually do, like during the summertime?
Well, I actually spend time at home and doing all the things I can do during the semester, like read novels,
Mm-hmm.
because they are actually a little distracting. And if I read in the semester, it may spend a lot of time, and I don't have time for study. So I
Mm-hmm.
will not read a lot of novels during summer holiday, and I keep going to the gym or just going to the swimming pool, and because I really want to um, get into the habit of keeping exercises as my lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's a lifelong thing to do.
I
And
agree.
I my study is hard.
Mm-hmm.
In China, we have a lot of homework to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think holidays, especially for long holidays, is the best time for me to get used into the habit.
I understand. A lot of times, when I was in college as well, because school sometimes can be extremely challenging, and it seems like
Yes.
you really don't have an opportunity to do a lot because you're so busy and focused on
Yes.
being a scholar. And like I
Mm-hmm.
said, during the breaks, now it's time to just let your hair down and just have an
Yes.
opportunity to do things that you didn't get a chance to do, like some of your favorite pastimes for you, like reading and making sure
Yeah.
that you stay fit, stay active, and just like you said, it has to be a lifestyle, and that is so true. Even in my adult age, it is extremely true. Even now, because sometimes I get so consumed in work that I have to be intentional and make time for myself to make sure that I'm healthy and that I can function properly. Um,
Yes.
so what do you know now what colleges you would want to attend?
Well, I've just go to several colleges like Berkeley
Mm-hmm.
and the California.
Mm-hmm.
I know USC. I think that is, and I think I pretty like Berkeley because it's more focused on um like human
Mm-hmm.
psychology. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's more like some language, or it's not so mathematic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because mathematics is not my thing, so I think Berkeley should be my choice. I
Uh-huh.
think, and they have so many interesting programs and clubs and so many activities organized by the students.
Mm-hmm.
I think um, most of the because I have several like I've met some people in Berkeley and they're very critical thinking and they're independent, they're positive. I think there are so many characteristics that I want to have in the future that they have already have in Berkeley, and I think that should be my one of my choices. But I can explore more universities, of course.
Of course, you will definitely have years, like up to 2 3 years, to have an opportunity to learn about a lot of schools. And but just like you
Yes.
said, Berkeley is a phenomenal liberal arts college. It is a phenomenal school. It's one of the top ranked schools in the United States. Uh,
Yes.
it's one of the schools I'm actually looking at to start my PhD. So we're on the same page. Berkeley is a very strong school, and I think. It's definitely one of those schools that a person would should aspire to be to. And likewise, USC is a strong school, very academically strong school. As many there are many schools here in California, like Stanford, that are really
Yeah.
strong and great options. And so, speaking of that, so if you had an opportunity, which you will, to come to the U.S. in the fall, which area would you want to live? Would you want to live on the East Coast or the West Coast?
I think it's fine with me because I'm more focused on the school itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I think since I'm very young, I can adapt a lot of conditions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the location is not a limitation. It's fine with me, but I will prefer maybe which the weather is better.
Uh-huh.
I will prefer the place maybe.
Now, for speaking of schools, would you want to be in a co-ed school or an all-girls school, or what would be your preference?
I think prefer the school with boys and girls in it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a socialized person
Mm-hmm.
and I really like communicating with others, like I just mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think boys and girls are very different in their way of thinking. Like boys are more direct and
Mm-hmm.
objective, but girls are more emotional and they are more caring and helpful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's very hard. It's very important for me to spend a long time with both girls and boys to learn more about them. But if I choose a all-girls school, I may have less an opportunity to contact with boys. So um, I think a, a, a school with boys and girls in it may be better. And sometimes when boys and girls communicate and collaborate together, they can do works much efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done several group project, and we have boys and girls in a group, and we can have very clear and the assignment distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And the boys take charge in the data part, and the girls just take part in the research searching.
Mm-hmm.
And we work very efficiently, and I think that is the strong point of boys and girls study together.
And I agree. I agree. All throughout my high school and college, I've gone to co-ed schools, and just like you said, having an opportunity to work with your peers with different mindsets, different work ethics, and it allows you to see different things at many different perspectives. And it allows, and I agree with you 100%. But I just know, some people prefer to be in single sex schools or whatever the case may be. But I agree with you 1000%. Having an opportunity to engage in different people who think probably totally opposite of you is
Yes.
sometimes can allow you to progress, you to grow, and you to learn more things just based
Yes.
solely off of the person that you or the people that you surround yourself with. So I think that is a very great onset that or mindset that you have to even notice that that is important because it really is. And so, for you, would you want as far as the school size, would you rather it be a smaller school size or a larger school?
Well, I would prefer smaller school
Mm-hmm.
because in China I've already been in a large school for many years,
Mm-hmm.
and strong points and weak points are both sides. And I think the strong points of a small school is that the students can have more communication with the teachers,
Agree.
and
Mm-hmm.
the teachers and students, they knew each other so well,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a really close relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is very fresh to me because I've been a school that have like 600 students in all,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like when I'm walking in the campus, I see people and I don't know them at all. And I'm not so good at putting names with the person,
Right.
so and just can't recognize who they are. And I think it's a little confused to me. And I really like to try a much smaller campus
Mm-hmm.
because it's new and I think it's very challenging to get along certain person.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's different. I want to try.
It is. And that's one of the, like, I'm going to talk to you about some schools a little later once we finish. But I can say one of the true perks, as you just said, with going to a smaller school is that you are a name. You're not just another student. The teachers will
Yes.
know you
Yeah.
by name. Like when they see you walking down the hall, they'll like, "Hello, Jessie, how are you?" Like they will have an opportunity to engage with you and talk to you because I've had a chance to visit all of the schools that I'm going to talk to you about today. And of them, that's one of the things that I just really respected a lot about the school because when we were walking down the hallway, the admission this is the admissions director. She's not even a teacher. The admissions director. She was just speaking to all the kids, knowing them individually. Like they'll come up and hug on her and love on her. And I like this is amazing because it's more of a
Yes.
community. Like it's past being
Yes. Yes.
just a
Yes.
school. At this point, it's a community, and I think that's extremely important for especially when you have, let's say, a person like yourself who's traveling from your home country coming here to the United States. So you're definitely going to be starting new. So you would want to be in an environment that's going to nurture you, where you feel comfortable, where you feel loved, and where you feel like this is the best space for you to grow academically
Yes.
and grow and learn as a person. So I agree with that 1000% because that is extremely important when you're just looking at schools. Make sure that you know that you are in an environment where the school literally cares for you and that they know the students and that they understand you as an individual, so they'll know if you're allergic to something or if you don't like this or if you don't like that or how to get you involved in different things. That is extremely important, especially when you're looking at schools from across the world.
Yes.
And so I just have one more question for you, and then I'm going to put on the Skype for you to read this passage for me, and I'm just going to ask you one or two questions, if that, about the passage. Okay. My last question for you is, what type? Well, two questions. What type of
Okay.
clubs and activities are important to you? Like, what type of things, extracurricular activities, would you like to be involved with?
Despite all the language course and
Mm-hmm.
clubs, I want to take part in the dance club
Mm-hmm.
and maybe the environmental club
Mm-hmm.
and community service club is the clubs that I definitely wanted to take part in. And yes, I think those three are the three clubs that I want to take enjoying most
Mm-hmm.
because I want myself to be more helpful and to make contributions to, like you said, to the community and to the society and maybe the world.
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
That really
It's
is
just
amazing.
it's just like a goal,
Mm-hmm.
and I want myself to make effort to that goal. So I want to spend more time learning something useful and then use these things to like pay back to all the society and the
Mm-hmm.
world that and because the way they treat me should be the way that I treat them back and
Correct.
I think I'm very happy and really satisfied with my life, so I want to share and convey this kind of feeling to others.
Mm-hmm. That is a beautiful thing. I respect that. I respect that a lot. So my last question to you, what are the top 3 things that you're looking for in a school in the United States?
Um, just 3 things.
Yeah, the top 3 things that are the most
Okay.
important for you about a school here in the U.S.
The relationship between peoples and between peoples
Mm-hmm.
is very important, and so it's the relationship between teachers and students.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be like a community, like another home in America,
Mm-hmm.
and I think the academics, the athletics, and the clubs and programs. Should I just categorize it as one part? I
Sure.
don't know, but it's very important because it's maybe it's very different between schools.
Mm-hmm.
And the school I want to join, it has to be it has to be fulfill some of my needs or interests, and the courses I want to take, the clubs I want to join in. They
Mm-hmm.
have to fulfill my need. And last one, I think that is the school environment
Mm-hmm.
because I'm in a private school now and it's in center of Shanghai and it's incredibly small. It's just as big as a playground. Can you imagine that? We don't have a playground and we go to another school for PE classes and
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm done of that. So I want to take part in a large campus at least have a playground in it and maybe some ball game court and maybe a huge library.
Mm-hmm.
I think yes, I want to attend a school like that.
Perfect. Well, before I put the passage on, do you have any questions for me?
Well,
I mean, if you don't, it's perfectly fine because I know this interview is definitely about you. But if you just had anything that you want to know, but you're pretty much answering everything. So I imagine you probably wouldn't have anything. So I'm going to. I am going to copy this here. If it will copy. I think it's finally coming up. Well, this is what we'll do. I'm going to stop recording now.
okay.
Hold on 1 second.